Hi, and welcome to Hot at Home, Your Questions Answered. I'm Jackie, and today we have a question from one of my subscribers, Laura. Laura says, "Hello, I am a 45-year-old woman that needs to lose over 100 pounds. However, I have to lose 20 pounds by August, so my insurance premiums don't go up. I've lost about 40 pounds over the year, but I'm at a plateau. I am eating better, doing some cardio, and lifting 25-pound dumbbells. I know lifting heavy and adding more weight burns fat. However, when I add more weight, I usually gain a pound or two. I realize this is probably muscle, which I'm okay with, but I need the scale to move down for the insurance company. If I keep adding muscle, will the scale ever go down? Thank you." Thanks for your question, Laura. And yes, if you keep adding muscle, the scale will go down. First of all, I'd like to address one comment that you made, and that is that you know lifting heavy and adding more weight burns fat. Adding more weight in and of itself doesn't actually burn fat. It builds muscle, which is completely different. If you're doing it in a certain way, it can help burn fat, but you have to do it in a certain way to get your heart rate up. The exercise that does burn fat best is cardio exercises. So if you're doing weightlifting that involves getting your heart rate jacked through the roof, like doing full body compound exercises and doing supersets and super circuits and really heavy and not taking much rest, then yes, you're probably burning some fat while you're doing your workouts. But just lifting heavy weights in and of itself builds muscle, and having more muscle on your body does increase your metabolism and help you burn more calories throughout the day, even while you're resting, which does help you lose fat ultimately. So I just want to make sure that you've got the correct order of things in your head, that just lifting heavy weights in and of itself doesn't help you burn fat. So, okay, now the second thing is, you're a woman, so please be realistic in how much muscle you can put on. Muscle goes on a lot slower, even for men, than fat can come off. So if you think, I don't know how long you've said you've been at this so far, but you know, when you say you add more weight, you usually gain a pound or two. Muscle just does not go on that fast. You know, like if, okay, I worked out yesterday with weights and I went really heavy, and today I weighed 2 pounds more. Muscle just does not go on like that. It goes on very, very, very slowly. So if you're gaining weight over the span of a week, say, after you've been lifting heavy, then it's probably not all muscle. There might be a tiny bit of muscle, but as much as a pound, I would have to say probably not. What's happening is you're probably getting your calorie intake not quite right. So fat comes off because your calorie intake is lower than what your body needs to maintain your current weight. So you really need to get a really close handle on what you're doing with your calories. If you're looking to lose fat, then get online and take a look at one of those calculators that asks you your height and your weight and your activity level and your age and your gender and that kind of thing, and then spits out a range for you. This is how much you need to lose weight, this is how many calories you need to lose weight, this is how many calories you need to maintain your weight, and this is how many calories you need to gain weight. You're going to want to take the lose weight section, and you want to try and keep your calories on the lower end of that range that they give you. If they say like 13 to 1500, then try and stay around 13. I don't know how tall you are, so I'm just guessing off the top of my head here. That might be your range. I don't know. Please use one of those online counters to figure it out for yourself. And when they ask you your activity level, be realistic with that as well. Even though it looks like you do work out quite often, don't say very active when they ask you your activity level. Say moderate or sedentary, because you'll get a more accurate range from them that way. When they say intense, if they're saying like very, very active, they're usually meaning people that like work out 3 or 4 hours a day, or they have like a job like a construction worker that are doing physical stuff all day long. So you don't want to over-calculate your activity level and then wind up with a range that isn't going to work for you. And also, please don't forget that if you've lost weight, and congratulations for that, 40 pounds, that's quite an accomplishment, that's excellent. But if you've lost 40 pounds, then your caloric range has probably changed. So if you've taken your calculation a few months ago, and since those 40 pounds have been lost, you're still sticking in that caloric range, it probably needs to shift down a little bit. So go back online, figure it out, find out your new range, and start getting your calories in there. And also, please be very, very careful with when you're eating, with what you're eating, that you're weighing and measuring everything and being very accurate. So if it says you says a cup of something is worth 100 calories, say, make sure the cup is level and it isn't rounded, because that adds calories that you're not accounting for. So the cup needs to be level. If it's dry, of course, it's easy when it's liquid. But or if you're weighing your food, make sure you've got a good scale. When I first started out, I had this junky little plastic scale, and it was sort of working for me, but it could have been working better. And I finally got myself a digital scale, just a little tiny one, that I could put a plate on and then set it to 0 and then put my food on. But it was a digital scale, and that's the one I still use. And I was shocked at how different the measurements were from my cheap plastic scale to my expensive digital scale, or not expensive, it was only $30, but my more accurate digital scale, how different my readings were. So it really helped get me on like a solid track. So the other thing you might want to do as well, calories are the most important thing. You absolutely want to make sure you've got a really strong handle on how many calories you need and how many calories you are actually ingesting. Please don't subscribe to the belief that if you're eating clean, that you don't have to count your calories. That's just complete bull. It makes it a lot easier to keep yourself feeling full if you're eating clean, whole natural foods, lots of protein and stuff like that. It makes it a lot easier to keep your calories in check and stay feeling full, but it's still really easy to overeat. One of my favorite dishes is a brown rice penne with a can of tuna packed in olive oil, and then stir it in with the penne, and then topped with raw parmesan, and then some stir-fried asparagus stirred into that as well. It's all one dish. It's really tasty, but it's really caloric. That thing's probably worth 1,000 calories all by itself, just because of the penne and the cheese, and the olive oil that's in the tuna. It's all clean. It's clean eating, but I probably just ate 2/3 of my calories in one meal. So please don't just trust clean eating to get you there. Weigh and measure everything. If you're really serious about this and you really need to get this happening in time for this insurance situation that you've got, please just be very, very, very stringent with it. Write everything down. Keep track of everything. And then the other thing you want to do as well is probably you want to increase the cardio that you're doing. Just quickly want to look at some notes here. Hold on. Yeah. What was I just saying? Oh, you probably want to increase your cardio. Walking is a great cardio. I understand that you're 100 pounds overweight right now, so running's probably not an option for you. It'll be hard on your joints until you lose a bit more weight. But you can do walking. When I first started my own transformation, I had bad hamstrings and I couldn't run. So I walked. I walked 2 hours a day. And yeah, the fat came off pretty fast. Walking is a great way to burn fat. Yes, the gurus out there will tell you it's a terrible way to do it. Well, it's not a terrible way to do it. What they're not telling you is it's a slower way to do it. Not a lot of people have that much time in their schedules to go for a 2-hour power walk every day. But if you're putting some serious effort into it and you're getting sweaty and your heart rate's getting up, it is a good way to burn fat. It's not the fastest way. But it definitely does work, so don't let people scare you away from that or make you think that if walking is the only cardio you can do, that you can't get this done properly, because you can. I did it, and it works. So, and I know lots of other people who do it, okay? So I know professional bodybuilders who get on a treadmill every day for half an hour after their weight training and walk. That's all they do, they walk. They scientifically know that that's the way to get some fat off. So walking is a great way. If you don't have time for that, then you can do some interval training. And again, I understand that you might not be able to do that running, so you can get on a stationary cycle or a real bicycle, really, if you want to go outside and get it done. Just make sure you're getting some really intense intervals with some really slow intervals where you recover your heart rate, and then fast again, and then recovery, and then fast again, and recovery. You can do it swimming. You can do it on a stationary cycle. It doesn't take as long. You can do like half an hour of that a day, and it'll help with your metabolic rate as well after you've stopped your workout, like adding muscle does as well. It helps with that to keep burning calories throughout your day, more calories than you would if you went for a power walk. If you go for a power walk, you're burning calories in the moment, but it doesn't necessarily help you burn calories after the fact, which is okay. It's all in how it works for you. It's just getting it done. So if walking is the right thing, then do it. And if interval training is the right thing for you, and you've got a stationary cycle or another piece of equipment, you can do it on an elliptical just hard and then slow down, hard and then slow down. It doesn't have to be, 30 seconds fast, 30 seconds slow. It can be a minute fast and a minute slow, or 30 seconds fast and a minute slow, whatever it takes for you to recover enough that you feel like you can give another intense interval, and then give it everything you've got, and then slow down again, and give it everything you've got, and then slow down again. You can do that for 20 minutes, half an hour. But you should try and incorporate a lot of that if you're trying to, get fat off your body quickly. But again, the most important thing is to make sure you've got your caloric intake calculated properly, and that you're not cheating or kidding yourself, like eating off your kid's plate or whatever. Those calories count too. So, or going out for dinner in a restaurant and not all their, to having a salad, which it's honorable, but a lot of those salads in those restaurants are really caloric, well, much more caloric than you would expect them to be. So for me, if I don't know what a restaurant's meal is and I'm trying to lose some weight or whatever, I'm trying to keep really good track of my calories, then I'll look it up on their website, or I'll dissect the meal. I'll say, okay, there's lettuce, there's carrots, there's this creamy dressing. I'm going to give that creamy dressing 300 calories, because I don't know exactly what it's worth, but it looks like ranch. So I'll look up ranch dressing online, and I'll see what it's worth for calories, and I'll say, okay, well, I probably ate a half a cup of that. In reality, I probably ate 3/4 of a cup of it, because that's what they put on those salads. So I won't guess low. I'll guess high to keep myself honest. So yeah, don't trust restaurants just because something looks heart healthy or low cal. It may not be. I dissect it and take every ingredient apart and say, okay, the carrots are worth this, the tomatoes are worth this, the dressing's worth this, the lettuce is worth that, and then I add it all up. And okay, so next time I go for that meal, I won't have to add it up again. I'll just know. I'll write it down and I'll keep it on my spreadsheet. So if you have your favorite meals you like to go out for, then you only have to do that once and then keep it, and then refer back to it every time you have it. But also, it's a big wake-up call to do it once, because you'll be like, okay, I thought this was probably worth 300 calories, and it's worth 1,300. Holy mackerel. So if you dissect it, it's a good education. And the more you educate yourself, the more power you have. To me, my favorite saying is knowledge is power. So the more you educate yourself, the more power you have to be able to make informed decisions and not choose things that are actually sabotaging you and taking you off the rails instead of keeping you on track, okay? So I hope that really helped you out. I wish you a lot of success in getting there, and congratulations again on losing 40 pounds so far. I really think that's absolutely fantastic. Congratulations, and good luck with the 100 pounds, and I hope you make it to August in time for your insurance thing to work out. Once you get there and you've made it, don't keep going though, because you'll know what you're doing by then, and the rest of the weight you have to take off will probably come off a lot easier by then, because you'll know exactly what you're doing. So anyway, I hope that really helped you out, and we'll see you guys again next time. Take care.